My name is Myra Jolivet, and my business is Center for Consulting. And the reason the name is Center for, because that's the first thing everybody asks me, is because the center four squares on a chessboard are the most strategic squares. If you control those, you generally win the game. I do communication strategy and strategic planning, and I try to help people get to their center four squares in what their goals are for their businesses. So basically I do PR consulting, but under the umbrella of really strategic planning. I started right before COVID because my timing is brilliant. No, I had been thinking about this, I'd say for the last 5 years. You know, I've been working for a lot of different brands and companies, and even in different industries. You know, I started in TV news and worked in that for almost 20 years, and in and out of it for longer than that, actually. And then I worked in politics, I've worked in advertising, I worked for New York PR firms. And so I've kind of run the gamut of the communications world. My last stint was in Silicon Valley at the multiple listing service for real estate, which of course is the technology platform for brokerages. And there I worked in communication strategy and customer support strategies, as well as their strategic planning and a lot of what I do now. But in my mind, you know, I was thinking, okay, I want to consult. I want to definitely get on my own, maybe be somewhat semi-retired, but to offer services to businesses that I think that I do in a unique way. I'm a storyteller, and I help businesses to tell their story, whether it's to mitigate some negativity or to really push their brand out there within their industry or with the public. You name it, I work with businesses to get their strategy act together and then tell that story. You know, one of the first things that I did in terms of networking, I found out about the Happy Neighborhood Project. And, you know, I'm an old newsie. I was like, Happy Project, give me a break. But I went in anyway. You know, I did the phone calls and I really enjoyed it. One of the great things about that was when you need to find resources in the area or anywhere in the country, I said, look, I need to have IT taken care of. I can't look like a pro if I don't have a professional right by me handling all the things that I can't do, and frankly, I will never learn to do very well. I need an IT professional who is as sharp as I think I am in my area. So I went to HNP, Happy Neighborhood Project, and I said, look, I gotta have somebody who's on the game, who knows their stuff. And they told me about Bryant.
Okay.
Well, I think I probably was pretty informal about, Bryant, I need like everything. I need backup. I'm starting a business. I'm used to being in-house. So what I'm accustomed to is being able to go to somebody down the hall and say, my X is broken. I can't do this. I'm about to do a meeting and da-da-da-da-da and that. So that's what I really needed. I needed the security blanket of being able to call somebody and say, something's not working right, and I just need it done, and I don't really want to understand it a whole lot, but I want to be able to make it work, because I got to do these other pieces. Bryant is able to understand that language. With Bryant, he doesn't expect you to be an IT person. He expects that you want service. He expects that you understand that he is going to give you the best advice for your business. And that's what I've been getting. You know, I've had my own little mini catastrophes where, you know, I was embarrassed in front of a client because, you know, my internet provider decided to shut down the very night I was facilitating a session on Zoom. There was nothing I could do about it. I had to give up that role to somebody else. When I told Brian about it, he immediately knew the steps that I should take, how that I should set it back up, how that backup would back itself up, and on and on. And now I don't have to feel that insecurity anymore. That's the kind of thing that as a business professional, I mean, that's your brand you're dealing with. Your ability to do what you're paid to do. And you have to have somebody like Brian, or other than that, once again, you're going to be embarrassed like I was. Okay, let me try to not get sued. So there are some services out there, let me say it that way, where you're led to believe that, you know, you're going to have IT that can handle your emergencies, and not everything's an emergency, but, you know, maybe it's something that you need done within a certain amount of time and all that. That's not always the case. Sometimes the queue is not going to give you that inner office experience that I was talking about. Bryant becomes part of your inner office. And granted, he has clients, but somehow he makes it all work. You know, somehow he makes all of us feel that we have that inner office. I mean, I don't know how he does it. You do an email, you hear back, you know, he's there to set up for your future need or whatever is happening. You know, you're able to go in, you can schedule something, you can get that done. If there's an SOS kind of problem, you say, hey, my world is falling apart, and boom, he appears. And so you get to have that inner office experience. I don't know how many places offer that. I don't know how many providers and how many companies can actually do that. And so that's been the special part for me. And that's the thing that, as I said, especially someone coming from in-house, I really, really needed that to feel that I could pull off starting a business. Yeah, and you know, I appreciate a provider. I appreciate someone who says, hey, I don't do X. And so when it came to really upgrading and establishing my website and then kicking it up a notch, Brian said, I'm not a web designer. You know, it's not what I do. But he had one. And so the great thing about that recommendation was that they could work together. So the web designer got the look and the feel that I wanted in the website. Brian made sure the guts of it were all synced up. So the IT piece was happening while I was able to work with the designer to get the look and feel that I wanted in a website. I would wear his t-shirts if I could do it. I'm all in. I recommend that, you know, whether your business is new or you've been around forever, this is the business that you want behind your business. This is the foundation that you want. Let's face it, nowadays, if your IT is bad, your brand, and now I'm going to speak from my profession, this is your brand. You have got to have your stuff together. Things have to work. I'm going to talk now from my profession. This is your brand. You know, things have to work. You have to be able to deliver. You need your technology to be market forward, tech forward. It needs to work for you and for your customer. You got to have Brian. I'm serious. You just have to.
If you have any questions about this video or any other computer technology related questions, please give us a call at 855-520-5200. You can also visit us on the web at www.gravityit.net.